Hello everyone, here I'm Lemon, long time no talk. Today I want to talk about a topic, and that is water. Yes, when I say the word water, what comes to your head? Is it a cup of water? Or maybe a river? Or maybe sea? If you live on the seaside, you may think about sea. Ocean? Yeah. Water is everywhere. We use it every day. We wash our face, we brush our teeth, and we need it. And our body is made up of water. Why I want to talk about the water topic? Because one day when I was feeling quite depressed and quite desperate somehow, I drove alone to the seashore and I just sat on the beach. Yes, just sat on the beach, on the sand. I can feel the temperature and it is warm, not hot. And I looked at the water in the sea. Yeah. And the wave comes to me and it goes back. The wave, the water comes to me and they go back. So they come and go, come and go. Somehow it feels quite peaceful and relaxed. And in my head, there's so many things to think about, so many bad feelings and some troubles, some very difficult things I have to overcome. At that moment, they faded away. And I saw some people on the boat. They rent a boat, and so they came, on the boat. Somebody drove them to outside, and they can enjoy the sea view. They just go outside like about 10 minutes, and they came back. I never ride such kind of boat. When I was little, when I was a primary school student, I used to be on a boat, but it is a big boat. Many there were like 20 to 30 students on the boat. So it was a big boat, and the boat that day is a small boat. It can hold like 10 people at maximum. So I would love to have a try. Normally I wouldn't spend money on such kind of entertainment, because I was quite a thrifty person. Of course, because the economy situation is not so good. So somehow I decided to enjoy a little bit instead of saving money, at least for one time. Maybe it was the first time ever for my 5 years of giving baby to my baby and then raising him up. In the whole process, I was kind of lost myself. I don't know, I was totally living for my child, for my husband, for my mother, for my father and mother-in-law, for even maybe sisters and brothers-in-law. I was taking care of their needs. I was taking care of their emotions. I was the one suppressing my own feelings and always taking care of others in the hope that they would like me. Yes, I was the so-called what kind of person? In that in English it is called maybe the pleaser, the people pleaser. I want to please people. So anyway, in the whole process, I lost myself, and I was thinking that I was quite unhappy. Yes, because for all my feelings, sorry. Yeah, let's stop a little bit. Okay, fine. So even in talking in English, not my mother tongue Chinese, I would also feel quite sad when I talking about my experience as a mother, as a wife, as a daughter-in-law, whatever. Because actually I live with my father and mother-in-law because of the poverty, you can say that, I have to admit. So on that day, for the first time ever in the 5 years of raising kids, finally I decided to not saving money for the big family, and I decided to have a little bit of entertainment. I saw them on the boat, and they looks quite fun. So I decided to have a try. It took me like 100 yuan RMB. So in the US dollars, it might be, I'm not good at math, so it would be like, I'm doing the calculation in my head, okay, right now. So 100 divide 7, so maybe, anyway, it is less than 20 US dollars. So I was on the boat alone. They are the other people, the other persons that maybe like husband and wife, or maybe parents and kids, but me alone. Yeah, so we were on the boat, and we go outside. So we ride the boat, and maybe it is a very big circle, so we go outside like 10 minutes on the sea. So for the first time ever, I see the water on the sea. Okay, let me explain the feeling to you as best as I can. Okay, so normally, okay, even when I am living on the seaside, on the seashore, you know, I was only maybe less than 1 hour trip to the sea, the true sea, not the sea on the map. Yes, I know, because when I'm looking at the map of the world, I know that the 70%, over 70% of the land on the planet is made up of ocean. But when you look at this map, when you think about the word water, it feels quite, you know, they are all just blue, and they just look so calm, so flat. They're just the color on a very thin piece of paper. Also, okay, it looks like it is so silent and without any voice, and it looks so peace. But when you are on the true sea, you feel very, very different. Because on the sea, you know, the boat, a small boat, and the boat is like, how to say that word? Sorry, my English is not so good. My vocabulary, I should enlarge my vocabulary. So on the boat, okay, the boat on the sea, it is okay, up and down a little bit, a little bit. And it is not so smooth like we're on a piece of glass, you know, or piece of whatever, on the skating playground. Oh, it's not like that. It is up and down, constantly. Even if the boat is stopped, the boat is still up and down, because of the wave, okay, the wave of the water, small wave. And when there's a big wave, okay, the wave is so big, and the boat will be, oh my God, we are, wow, okay, on the boat, wow, okay, then the boat is like you are riding a car and you bumped onto a big stone, and the car wheel, okay, boom, jump. And when it landed again on the road, maybe, okay, the feeling is like a crash. Yeah, a feeling, the crashing feelings. And you may think that water, when you are in your bathroom and you are washing your hands, and the water feels so smooth, so soft, it is so soft, the water goes around your hand and you're washing your hands in the washing basin, okay, you feel the water is tender, and you feel it is soft and so kind, just like a very kind woman talking to you, whispering to you, you know, because the voice of the washing water is quite small. You can listen to the voice of the water when you wash your hands, okay? So the whole feeling, the whole impression of the water, you feel that, wow, water, you know, tender, okay, kind, soft. That's kind of, you feel very very kind, very loving woman. It gives you kind of that feeling. But on the boat, okay, on the sea, it feels quite totally different, because you can, okay, a big wave comes, and we the boat, oh my God, it goes up and then it landed on the wave, okay, the wave goes and landed on the sea, on the water. You don't feel like you are landing on the water, because the water in your mind, it is soft, it is, you know, very easy to go through. But when the big wave comes and the boat comes up and landed back on the water, it feels quite hard, very hard, huge, hard, and very strong, because this is the sea water. It is not the water in the washing basin, on the tap, okay, on the washing tap. No. So the water in the ocean is different from the water in the ocean basin, and it is different from the water in the river. When you see a small river, you know, when it is sunny, the water looks very beautiful with the sunny sunlight on the stream, on the water, on the small waves on the water. It goes like very, okay, looks still very peaceful. And you think the water in the river, okay, it is a little bit stronger than the water in the water basin, okay. but still it is not fierce, it is not so strong, it is not so hard, so strong, so big, so so powerful as that water on the ocean, in the ocean. Okay, so yes, actually I think one thing I forget about is actually the water in a cup of water. You know, we have a cup, water cup, and then the water in the cup. What kind of feeling you have of it? Yes, yes, you know, we think that the water is quite small, peaceful, totally flat. Okay, if you don't touch it, you don't touch the cup of water. Okay, the water peaceful, the water surface is flat without any wrinkle, right? So a cup of water, small, silent, and flat without any wrinkle. And then maybe we go to the water in the water tap, running through the tap. Oh, okay, that water has a little voice, but still it go through your hand when you're washing your hand. It's very tender, okay, very smooth, tender, kind. And then we go the water in the river. The water in the river, it is quite how to say, it has bigger wave than the water in the water basin. And then we go to the water in the sea. It is hard, fierce, strong, powerful. It is totally different. Totally different. When I was on the boat, I feel like how small I was, because compared to the very big ocean. When we arrived at a point where I looked around, and I can see nothing but the ocean, but the sea. Okay, there was no small mountains, no island, no buildings at all, and no other human beings except us, the customers on the boat, including the driver. Okay, so all around you can only see water, and the water wave goes up and down, up and down. The boat was on the wave, up and down, up and down. Okay, so all around, and the sky, so all around just the sky and the sea and us, the very little human beings. So at that moment I really feel that when you're facing nature, we human beings are such a small creature and feel powerless. Maybe, okay, imagine at that moment, I imagine the boat, the engine goes wrong, okay, went wrong, and we would be trapped in the boat and on the sea, helpless. And maybe, okay, the phone will not work, we cannot call others for help, and imagine we were trapped in the boat in the middle of the sea, and could not reach any others, nothing at all. Okay, we will lose contact to the modern world. What would happen? Okay, without the help of technology, without help of others, with no food, okay, no food and drinkable water in a boat. When we face the nature, how much power do we have? Okay, because actually we human beings are helpless. When you face the nature has a great power. The most important of all, it has the healing power. When I was a student, I always heard the saying that nature could heal everything, including your mind, your heart, all the hurts, all the bad things, all the bad feelings. At that time, I knew nothing about it because all I knew was about learning hard, maybe after graduation getting a good job. But after all these years of my simple life experience as a very obedient girl and as a people pleaser, I lost myself for quite a while. And these days I started to, find my true self. And starting, I decided to live my life truly, not neglecting myself, not hating myself, not blaming myself, not criticizing myself. I started to really treat myself as a genuine human being, a girl who deserved to be respected, a girl who deserved to live a better life, not always taking the needs and the feelings of others ahead of my own feelings. So today I was talking about the water. So the water. Let's go back. Yes, the water in the different places, they were quite different. So that is kind of interesting thing that we might deserve us to think about it. Why? So the same thing. Okay, just water. Okay, H2O. Okay, water. It is the same. The chemical component is the same, but when it is in a little cup and then in the water basin running through the tap, and then in the river, maybe a little bit more freer, have more freedom, and then go into the ocean with such a tremendous power, so great, so powerful, hard, not soft at all. I mean the power of the sea shocked me, because again, I mentioned about the map. Okay, when we talk about sea in your head, maybe you think of the world map, because 70 of it is blue, it is ocean, it is sea. Okay, but you need to really experience it by your own. The experiences is never the same. It's never the same with words, okay, with your thoughts, okay, or with the videos you see on the internet, maybe YouTube, maybe TikTok, whatever. Okay, but the experience is not. It is irreplaceable. Okay, you need to experience by yourself, because the same water in different context in different places, it displays its power totally differently. So to me, limited by my own experiences, limited by my own cognition, the very close thing I could think about is actually, it's like our human beings. Okay, on different kinds of stages, you play the roles differently. Okay, you may be a little obedient wife in your own family. You could be a very loving mother to your kids. Okay, and outside, maybe in the workplace, in the workforce, you could be a very strong leader, female, very strong female leader, right? Okay, and even more, maybe if you have the chances to perform in different stages, not only in the workforce, maybe in the public organization, or maybe some movements, okay, even in the governments, or even in the world organization. I mean, there are chances. Of course, it is not so easy to achieve those positions, but my meaning is that you are you, but you can display different kinds of strength of yourself. There are possibilities. There are chances. Water can be so different, and so are we. We can be so different. If you allow yourself, allow your inner power, the inner power, it comes out. You release the power without restrict it into yourself, into your heart, deep into your heart. I always believe the potential of the human being is quite big. Yes, some people might be, tend to cry in front of many life difficulties and challenges. Everybody have hard times, but yes, just like the song Hero, right? The singer is Maria, I think. Sorry, I'm not good at remembering the foreigners' names, but I know the lyrics. It writes so well. And I will sing this song at the end of today's video somehow. This is the first video that I want to talk about the topic without script. I just think about I think about something and I speak that out, and that's why I said that the channel's name is Lemon Says. Why Lemon Says? Because actually I'm a quite I wanted to talk. I want to share my feelings and thoughts because they are so immense. They just my head is full of many kind of thoughts and feelings, and all these years I was a very silent woman. How could that be? So you can imagine the life is not simple for me. It was cruel, it was hard, it was my choice, it was my strategy towards life, but now I decided to change. So look inside yourself and you will find the power. On that day I went to the seashore and kind of have some feelings and have some thoughts about the water. So okay, let's make the song as the end. Okay, so how to sing? Let me think about it. There's a hero. If you look inside your heart, you don't have to be afraid of what you are. There's an answer if you search within yourself, and the emptiness you fear will disappear. And when the hero comes along with the strength to carry on, and you cast your fears aside, and you know you can survive. So when you feel like hope is gone, look inside you and be strong, and you finally see the truth that a hero lies in you. Okay, that is today's topic. Sorry I talk so much and maybe there's some stops because of the vocabulary, or maybe the stops in my mind. Sorry about that. But anyway, bye bye.